It just seems like in these tournaments, especially when you have 4 teams from the same conference, that one of your conference mates is going to be the one, unfortunately, that knocks you out. And, Coach, in this circumstance, it's a familiar team for the baseball career that you've had. Give your overall impressions of this 4-1 ball game that you end up bowing out of the tournament with.
Yeah, you know what? Their guy threw a gem. Awesomeness was really good. And that's the thing about these tournaments. It's, the guys, everybody here is really good. And Awesomeness was lights out today. Probably better than we've seen them all year. I don't think our approach was, great, but I think that's also because I think Awesomeness was so good. So, it's difficult to lose, especially the last game of the year. And today, I guess they played a little bit better than we did. I didn't think we played poorly. We played really well defensively. But then again, you run into a guy like Awesomeness on a day like this, it's a pretty good pitching club, overall. So, if we're going to lose, at least I know that we got beat. We didn't beat ourselves. And, congrats to those guys today.
We were told that Helm Camp's normally been your Sunday or your last day guy, and you told us yesterday in the press conference that every move you make is a calculated risk. Was that in anticipation of having to play another game tonight going with Helm Camp in this game?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a calculated risk, calculated move, I would say. Helm Camp has really pitched well down the stretch. He throws a lot of strikes. I know that Sonoma's very patient. They didn't see him a whole lot early in the year. And you know what? It was the right move. I thought he threw really well. And yes, I was anticipating to play more games today. Chris Daniels would have thrown this evening's game against an opponent that maybe hadn't seen him. I also said yesterday they don't always work out too. So, but I don't think that was the difference. The difference was we faced a really good one in Awesomeness, and he outpitched us. And there you go. And the results 4-1.
David had a couple of hits late in the ball game. Talk about your approach in the first 2 at-bats and the adjustments you made to get those 2 hits late.
Well, for me, big games like this, you want to stay patient, and sometimes it's a hard thing to do, but I would say the first 2 at-bats, try to do a little too much to help the club. And, again, towards the end of the game, I know I just had to get runners on base, which is real important for us late, and that's what I was trying to do, just seeing the ball and just throwing my hands at it.
Yeah, I tell you, David Garcia is one of the best players I've ever coached, and more so than that, he's one of the best people I've ever coached. His family's unbelievable. The kid's unbelievable. He believed in us when there wasn't a whole lot of people believing in Monterey Bay baseball, and I have so much respect for him and respect for Tommy. And I'm going to say the same things about Tommy after he answers his question, but I love these guys to death. They're the reason why. They're a big reason why we're sitting in this room right now, the reason why we're here, and they're a big reason why there's going to be great success for CSUMB baseball in the future.
I can let you know there was a couple of people who weren't wearing blue and gold up in the press box that would love to have a David Garcia type playing for their club. That's definitely for sure. Tommy, with 3 of the 4 teams that were still in it coming into today, part of the CCAA, playing in the conference tournament, where do you think the conference stacks up as one of the powers in the West region?
I feel like the CCA is a powerhouse. They come to play every year. Coming to the regional, Chico took it last year. There's a lot of great players that come from this conference, and being a part of this conference for 4 years, I've gotten to see it, and I feel like CCA is a powerhouse.
You've been here for 4 years. Talk about the progression that you've seen of this Otters program.
It's amazing, absolutely amazing. It's been a great journey, starting from the bottom and now ending up where we're at. There's been a lot of great changes. It's all had to do with a lot of the support that we were given. Our administration and our coaching had our back from day one, and they built the program into what it is now, and it's only going to progress even further, and I'm glad to be a part of that.
Coach, you had some thoughts on it?
Yeah, I do. When I took over, I was excited that Tommy was still here. That Tommy was a pretty raw ball player when he got here. He's one of the hardest working kids I've ever seen. I think there's more baseball lot of guys that didn't stay. And I remember when I got the job, I think Tommy was one of the first guys I called, and I almost felt like I had re-recruited the roster. And Tommy never wavered in my mind, and so glad he didn't, because it's been a pleasure coaching him. I hope these guys realize, and I think they do, that I'm here for them for life. And 20 years from now, I think they're going to look back at CSUMB's baseball program, the school itself, and know that it started with these guys. So I'm extremely proud of them. I'm extremely proud of our whole team. It's just unfortunate that's the end of this season.